On this day, in 1898, the Philippine Declaration of Independence from Spain was announced, and June 12 is what is called the National Day of the Philippines. This independence from Spain was only won by the Philippines thanks to the United States. You see, the Philippine Revolution from Spain started 4 years earlier, in 1896. But independence was not won until the United States had its own Spanish-American War. And when Commodore George Dewey defeated the Spanish in the Battle of Manila Bay in 1898. Now you should be aware that I will be labeled a traitor by some for telling you this. In fact, the history thoughts to so many Filipinos is that America is the villain and our enemy. That isn't the sad truth, and so many just don't know the truth. Of course, you at this conference already know that young people who are conservative are also labeled traitors. And so are black conservatives and Hispanic conservatives. According to the liberals, you simply cannot be black or Hispanic or young or an immigrant to America like myself without also being a liberal like them. Well, let me tell you what conservative Supreme Court Associate Justice Clarence Thomas told me. He tells us ignorant critics, go take a long walk off a short pier.
Right.
He said that somewhere, sometime in February when we met. Let's talk truth. Just like in many other countries around the world, the great things which America has done is not in the textbook, not taught to young people, not known by most. There is a hatred of America, which is taught most often, especially by the intelligentsia. I once saw an example of this on a Facebook that was especially upsetting. A conservative Filipino-American wrote an open letter to Facebook criticizing a Philippine mayor in what she and I call our country of origin. Yes, we are both now new Americans by choice, not like most of you here, Americans by accident of birth. But oh my, she was attacked like crazy for referring to the Philippines as her country of origin. She was called a traitor for calling America her home. She wasn't being loyal, they complained. You see, many immigrants to America call their old country their home. So what is America? It is in their new home. I think many people engaged in the debate about illegal immigration today still do not understand this. It is a terribly important point. If you think of the Philippines or Mexico or China as home, then you are a foreigner. And I, for one, do not care one bit whether you are here illegally or you are here legally. If you don't intend to live here as I am, proud to be new American by choice, proud to call America my new home, then you really have no business demanding American citizenship. And perhaps you ought to go ahead and go back home. If you don't call this beloved birthplace of freedom in the world your new home. This is the only place in the history of the world where most people don't care where you came from or even how you got here. They care about what you do and say now. The American Civil War decided the issue you know, that it isn't your birth or your background that decides your future. It isn't your past that gives you choice in your life. When the United States defeated the rebels, it settled this issue. It is what you do now, your choice today, which builds your future. I chose America because I want to be an American. I love my country of origin and my parents and the friends and relatives and former countrymen I left behind a half world away. I true hold to the faith they helped teach me. I am proud of my heritage. But if people want citizenship in America and aren't willing to call this place home, I say, no Yankee, go home, go away. How dare demand citizenship in a country you do not even call home? People who hate American and have no idea what freedom is, and no idea how our country of origin, the Philippines, only won its independence from Spain thanks to the help of Americans. Jump all over the wonderful, patriotic Filipino-American lady on Facebook who wrote to criticize the mayor in the Philippines. They were so mad, she called the Philippines her country of origin instead of her home. The lady understands very well that here in America is our home and that Philippines is where we came from. 1 year ago, during Asian and Pacific Island Heritage Month, I was the keynote speaker at the U.S. Navy Supply Corps World Headquarters Assembly at their base in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. I spoke about assimilation and how it does not mean leaving your old customs, heritage, faith behind, but instead, while keeping faith, it means embracing and learning about America, your new home. Do you know, the admiral in charge got a strong complaint about me after the assembly. But thank goodness, the rest of the audience of about 250 were very excited about my message. You and I, we have succeeded to know in getting our message out. The liberals should not be allowed to win. Being silent. I spoke the day as the U.S. Navy base. I spoke that day at the U.S. Navy base of how most Americans has helped the Philippines become free, starting with June 12, when we won our independence thanks to the help from America. Some years later, the war that is hardly ever taught in the Philippines, World War II. So the Japanese conquer my country of origin. But you know, what many old Filipinos will never forget, they will always remember that General Douglas MacArthur said, as the Americans were being defeated, I shall return. And once again, because that promise was kept, and thanks to the United States of America, the Republic of the Philippines won its independence the second time. No, this is not what has been taught to younger Filipinos. America is great for many reasons. Foremost because of de Tocqueville wrote, Americans are good. But America is also great because she has helped so many countries throughout the world. As tonight's keynote speaker has come here to testify about in his country of Afghanistan. And it is really sad that this information is kept away from people in the Philippines today, including the ones who came here to America. And without a doubt, also in Afghanistan, Prince Ali Siraj also has those who denounced him for being too friendly to the United States, too outspoken about his fervent wish for his country to have sovereignty and freedom. Prince Ali Siraj, I know perhaps better than anyone here how difficult it is to be friendly to the United States and to freedom when there are so many who also so bitterly attack you for your courageous stand. So I thank you for being our friend, and I pray for your success. God bless you, sir. America is great for many reasons. Besides June 12 being a day of independence for the Philippines, it is also the anniversary of the announcement of the Virginia Bill of Rights in 1776. If you know, what many new Americans have still most learned is that contrary to where we came from, here in America, thanks to Virginians of 240 years ago, the people put chains on government to restrict and restrain the government. The idea denounced 240 years ago in June 12 was then copied by Thomas Jefferson in Philadelphia several weeks later, in July 4, when the new American Declaration of Independence was announced. July 4 in my country of origin is called Philippine-American Friendship Day. It was copied yet again 11 years later in 1787 when the Constitution and Bill of Rights were adopted. My friends, do you realize that too many of our fellow Americans have no idea of the central idea of American Revolution, that government does not give us our rights, but God does. That government power should be restrained so that freedom can be enhanced and defended. So no, it isn't just many who are new to America, do not understand the whole idea of America. Is what this conference embraces in its name. You say freedom. Today there are over 11 million illegals, or perhaps even up to 30 million in America, demanding that their status be legal. They demand what they call my rights. They demand access to the welfare state, many of them. In fact, the truth, the media never reports, is that over 60% of illegals are on some form of social welfare, well over double the rate of the rest of America. And this from a group the liberals always tells us just came to America because they want to work. Sure. And many of the new Americans, and that include many of those who are here legally as well, refer to their country of origin as home. There's this ridiculous question. America has always welcomed foreigners, more than any other country on earth. But citizenship here is a whole different issue. And coming to America is a whole different issue. But I will admit that what they really irritates me as a conservative American of Filipino ancestry is this. Will the new Americans stop admitting they are foreigners by instead calling this country America, their home and the place they came from, their country of origin? It is time to switch around and stop branding yourself foreigners, my friends who came to America as I did. Welcome to America, where you have a choice to be an American, or go ahead. Continue acting like a foreigner, and it serves you right when you are treated as an outsider, a foreigner. You've heard home is where the heart is. Well, I say home is where you say it is. Some of us say America is our new home, and that we are Americans by choice. Others of us say Philippines or Mexico or some other place is our home. I'd say we should hook up a lie detector and ask new Americans demanding citizenship one question. Please tell me the name of your home. That should settle the issue most clearly. There's always is a path to citizenship, and I'm on it. And anyone who waits their turn, who comes here illegally, who fills out the forms and paperwork and pay the fees and call America their new home, is already on the path. Now it is time for me to have adjourn this conference tonight with a reminder that freedom is not free. Thank you for being here tonight. God bless you all, and God bless America.